What's up, y'all? It's Diddy, and I am back with another outfit revamp, episode 3. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can turn this look into this cute dress that you can wear on a date with babe or out with your friends. I am on a roll. Ooh, so sorry. I am on a roll to 500 subscribers, you guys. I am 300 subscribers away from reaching my goal. So if you can, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, as well as leaving a comment down below. Follow my personal page on Instagram at isdemi_, and my business page at distinctive_stitch. Now let's get into this video. The materials we are going to be using is scissors. We have our measuring marker, and our measuring tape. We have our thread, our pins. We have a simple dress that I'm going to be using for a pattern. I have our design ruler, and of course the roll that I got from Goodwill. I'm going to start off first with laying the roll down. What I'm going to do is take my scissors and cut out the orange as well as that top part right before the applique, and it's just so that I can make sure the roll is laid out smooth. Then what I'm doing here is making sure that the hem part is together, and I'm just going to pin it down so that while I'm moving the roll, whatever, the bottom part of the hem is not moving, and I'll make sure I have an even hem at the bottom, if that makes sense. Next, I am folding the fabric in half, and what I'm doing here is measuring myself because I want to make sure that my dress is at least 36 inches. So I am putting my simple dress pattern that I'm using, and I'm laying that out on the fabric that I have fold. And I'm going to take my measuring tape and double check to make sure that it comes down at least 36 inches. And if not, I'm just going to adjust it. But for you may want yours longer or shorter. You're just going to adjust it to however you want it. And what I did, I just folded back the top part because I want to get more of that rectangle square look at the top. Here, I am coming out about a half of an inch just so that I'll have enough for seam allowance. Now, I did mention that I am using a marker as a material, but I would say not to because this type of marker will bleed through. They do have fabric markers. I normally would use chalk, but the chalk that I have, I guess I got a low budget brand because they do not show up when I use it. So that's why I end up using the pens instead. And majority of the time, I normally use the pens. I've been using a marker so that you can actually see my mark point. But again, I didn't want it to bleed through, so I'm just going to take the pins and come out about a half of an inch. Now I am taking my measuring tape, and I'm just going to get the measurement of my knee area, and I believe that was probably, I don't know, like 15 inches, but yours may be different. So just get your measurement of your knee area, and I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm folding my measuring tape in half, and I'm just going to make sure I get that same measurement coming out at the bottom of the dress. And as you can see, I am taking my pins and I am pinning that mark so I'll know that, okay, we need to cut out that area. And then here I am taking my styling design ruler, and I'm using that hip part just so I can get a nice perfect hip curve. So I just took me a pin, and as you can see, I'm going to cut out. I came a little closer here. I'm going to cut out just a little bit around those pins, and you're just going to take your scissors and you're just going to cut C-U-T, guys, cut. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to cut out around those pins just like you see here. Now when you do this, and the next time I do this, I do suggest cutting this part right here up a little bit more, and it's just so that when it drops with the straps, it'll give you more of that drop look in the front, and I will show you what I'm talking about later on in this video. But yes, I'm just taking off the pins here, and yeah, moving on. Next, I am getting ready to cut out the back piece. What I'm doing here is folding the back piece in half, and I noticed that this material was rolling up, so I did make sure I put the fabric together to pin it down so that when I cut it, it wasn't moving and it stayed in place. What I'm doing is getting ready to drop the back piece down lower to my lower back. I believe I came down about 4 or 5 inches, but you can measure yourself to make sure you want it how low that you want your own dress back to be. But I think I came down about 4 or 5 inches, and I'm just going to take my scissors and CUT from there. Now it is time to put our right sides together, and once I do that, I am going to pin down the sides and get the dress ready to hit the machine. Next, I am moving on to cutting out the straps. Now, I did use the rest of the length of the robe that was left, but it was about 48 inches. You may have to adjust yours. Yours may be shorter, it may be longer. I don't know. It's stretched, so hopefully it will work for you. But I did come out, the width was about 1.5 inches, and I cut out 2 straps, you guys. So I didn't put it in this video, but I cut out 2 straps. Now I am moving on to the drawstring part. Now I measured it about 7 inches, but next time I'm probably gonna come up a little bit more, probably all the way up to my waist. But I'm coming a little closer. Hopefully you can see. And this is gonna be about 1.5 inches in the width, and the length was about 7 inches. But I would suggest coming up. No, I'm sorry, it was 11 inches. Yes, not 7. So I came up 11 inches length, and it was about 1.5 inches. The width. But next time I would probably suggest coming up a little bit more. I would probably come up to my waist. And moving on to the sewing machine, I am taking my first strap piece and I'm going ahead and sewing that down. I'm done sewing the strap piece. I am going to take a safety pin and pull the strap inside out, so where I can have the right sides turned out. Next, I am moving on to sewing my dress down. I am just sewing down on the sides that I pinned. Next, I am getting ready to hem the top of the dress. So this is the part that goes with the back part along with the top part. Well, just the sides. I didn't hem down the top yet, but as you can see here, I'm going around and hemming down the sides. And when I am finished, I am going to sew that down. I am moving on to hemming down the top part of the dress, and when I am finished, I am going to sew that on the machine. Next, I am going to take my strap pieces, and I just clip the ends off so that I'll have more of a clean end. And then I am going to fold it in half and cut it down the middle so that I can have 2 straps now. And I'm going to take one of my straps and I'm going to pin that down. What I'm going to do to this side, I am also going to do to the other side. And I'm just going to take it there, pin it, and then I'm going to sew it on the sewing machine when I am finished. So this is what the dress is going to look like once I have finished sewing down the strap part of the dress. And I'm just going to flip it inside out and take that 11-inch strip, 11 by 1.5 inches, and I'm going to find like an area on the side of the dress. I believe I probably came over about 1 inch or 2 away from the seam allowance on the side, and I'm just going to take that strap piece and I'm just going to pin that on the dress going up, and this just so that it can help me get that scrunchy look on the side of my dress. Here's a closer look, and when I'm going to sew it down, I'm going to start on this side and I'm going to start on the right side, and then I'm going to a straight stitch down the middle. We're moving on to taking that second strap piece and feeding it through one of the sides of the scrunch piece that we created. And once we pull it halfway through, we are going to take the strap and pull it through the other side. And that's how we create the scrunch piece that's at the bottom of the dress. I am finished with that. I am going to tie a knot at the end of the strap piece. Next, I'm going to flip the dress inside out, and I'm going to just test out the strap, that piece, to make sure everything is good. And I'm going to put the dress on, and then I am going to see if I need to adjust it. And I see that everything was perfect, so I didn't need to adjust anything. And then I'm just going to sew those pieces down right there at the end, at the seams of my dress. Hey y'all, I can't wait to wear it out. Get it. Okay, I'm done. Here I'm just showing you how I went about taking those pieces, those strap pieces, and sewing it onto the side of the dress. So trying to see how can I say it. So the right side, I just swerved it around and I sewed it onto the right side of the dress. And this is the part that I'm talking about. The reason why I suggest sewing up, cutting up a little further, because I had to you know, take a pin and needle and thread, whatever, and sew it through this part just so that I could create that drop piece in the front. If I would have cut more out going up, then I wouldn't have to do this. But I did this just so that I can have that look in the front. If you do this, I do suggest doing this about 2 times, because when as soon as I took this off, it did pop, so I had to go back in and sew it in twice. And then of course I put 2 knots in it, and then we are done. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and see you on my next. Love, peace, and soul, sisters.
Now tuned in to WUTP Radio. We your hosts for the night, Cool and Trey.